Despite all today's technology, some mysteries remain unsolved, and science and experts do not have the answers to many questions. In this video, we will present 20 mysteries that have remained unsolved to this day, and that continues to arouse great attention, both in the ordinary world and in science. The mighty Inca Empire in South America. The powerful Inca Empire flourished between 1200 and 1535 AD. They built a developed canal system to irrigate their crops, as well as a stone town on top of a steep mountain, Machu Picchu. Interestingly, the Incas built it all without knowing about the wheel at the time. Despite great achievements, they did not withstand the attack of the Spanish conquistadors, who at the time had much more advanced weapons. Pyramids of Giza. Khafre and Cheops are two of the three ancient pyramids at Giza in Egypt. Cheops is the biggest. It was built of over 2 million stone blocks, some of which weigh up to 9 tons. The pyramids, which were built as divine tombs, date from 2550 BC. Modern Egyptologists believe that the pyramids were built of stone brought from a quarry, and despite ancient Greek testimony, they were built by trained masters and not slaves. Easter Island. Easter Island, also known as Rapa Nui, is very isolated and some 2,000 miles off the coast of Tahiti. The original settlers on this island were the Polynesians, who settled there between 400 and 600 BC. They built many temples and statues, which they called moai, from carved stone that they dragged from the other side of the island. It is still unclear to researchers and archaeologists how they transported those boulders. Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is an area in the Atlantic Ocean between Bermuda, Florida, and Puerto Rico, which is characterized by the disappearance of planes and ships without a trace. Space was named after Sergeant Huevo Thompson, who, along with 27 other airmen, disappeared without a trace during the routine summer of 1945. Many rumors involve supernatural forces, while scientists blame hurricanes, the dangerous Gulf Stream, and the human factor for everything. Nazca Lines. The Nazca Lines cover more than 490 square kilometers in the deserts of southern Peru. Many figures are 2,000 years old. Little is known as to why these works were engraved and drawn in the sand. While some claim that they are extraterrestrial, others claim that the shapes of the figures indicates the places where the water sources are located. Aliens. Area 51, located on Lake Groom in southern Nevada, was established in 1955 by the U.S. Air Force as a center for research into new types of aircraft. The very nature of this military base, combined with the research of secret technologies in planes, has helped conspiracy theorists claim that experiments related to time travel, UFO cover-ups, and alien autopsies are being performed there. Iron Pillar in Delhi. The Iron Pillar in Delhi is a 1600-year-old, 7-meter-high pillar in the Kut complex in India. The pole, which is 98% made of wrought iron, amazes scientists because it has been resisting corrosion for so many years. The Stone Spheres of Costa Rica. Discovered in the early 1940s during excavations led by the United Fruit Company, these perfectly shaped stone spheres date from the period of 600 to 1500 AD. The purpose of their existence is still unknown, but many believe they had some religious significance and were associated with the sun god. Mary Celeste. The British-American ship Mary Celeste was found empty on December 4, 1872, floating in the Atlantic. There were no traces of violence on it, little was missing. All the documents except the ship's log were there. The ship's clock did not work, the digger was destroyed, the lifeboat, the sextant, and the sea chronometer were missing. In recent years, scientists have theorized that alcohol vapors led to an explosion, which, as a result of a scientific anomaly, left no traces of fire. Tunguska explosion. The Tunguska explosion occurred at 7:14 a.m. on June 30, 1908 in Russia. To date, the cause of the explosion, which caused the leveling of 80 million trees on over 2,100 square kilometers, has been hotly debated. Most believe the cause is a meteorite or part of it, while others claim the cause of the explosion is a black hole and aliens. Mothman. The human-like creature with insect wings and red eyes, better known as Mothman, terrorized the inhabitants of Point Pleasant in the United States during the late 1960s. There is no solid evidence of its existence other than a few statements by alleged witnesses documented in journalist John Keel's book, Mothman's Prophecy. The Lost City of Atlantis. The lost city of Atlantis was first described 2,400 years ago by Plato, who claimed that the island was home to an advanced civilization. Legend has it that it was submerged due to an earthquake, while later interpretations say it was an underwater kingdom guarded by mermaids. The place where, if it ever existed, the island was still a mystery. Some recent evidence suggests that it was located somewhere around Cyprus in the Mediterranean. Stonehenge. Stonehenge on the Salisbury Plain in England is today a famous tourist destination. However, it is believed that more than 5,000 years ago, this place was used for various pagan rituals, or perhaps as a cemetery. Chupacabra. Phyllis Canyon allegedly holds the head of an animal nicknamed Chupacabra at her home in Queer, Texas. The sighting of this unusual animal was first reported in Puerto Rico in 1995, with a claim to love chickens and goat blood. Although there are many images like this on the internet, biologists firmly deny its existence. The Fountain of Youth. After Don Juan Ponce de Leon became governor of Puerto Rico in 1509, 6 years later following Indian rumors, he set out north in search of the Fountain of Youth towards Bimini Island. It later turned out that Bimini was a peninsula of Florida, and the fountain remained hidden and unknown until July 2006, when the famous magician David Copperfield stated that the water on his private island of Exumas had healing properties. The Legend of El Dorado. The legend of El Dorado comes from the Muisca tribe, who lived on the territory of today's Colombia in the period from 1000 to 1538. In a ritual ceremony for their gods, the tribal chief would cover himself with gold dust and throw himself into a lake to offer himself as a sacrifice. This caused the legend of the Golden City, which led the Spanish conquistadors to a dead race in search of it. Monster from Lake Loch Ness. According to Scottish folklore and folklore, the monster Nessie is a mystical creature that drags small children into watery tomb, enticing them to ride on its back. The monster from Loch Ness became popular when the confession of one of the eyewitnesses appeared as breaking news. However, there is no solid evidence for its existence, except for one photograph, for which it is not possible to determine completely whether it is real or false. Sphinx. The Sphinx is another Egyptian wonder, having the body of a lion and the head of a pharaoh believed to be Khephrans, carved out of limestone and slowly disintegrating over time. A popular theory about the disappearance of the Sphinx nose is that Napoleon's soldiers fired from a cannon at him. However, recently discovered sketches confirm that she was without him long before Napoleon. The Devil from Jersey. The Jersey Devil is a strange creature that has haunted and tattooed New Jersey Pine Barrens for over 260 years. They say that many factories and schools were forced to close because of him. Allegedly, according to the legend of the Old Evil Witch, Mrs. Shrouds lived in Leeds Point, New Jersey. She wished that if she had another child, that child would be the devil. Her next child, the 13th in a row, was deformed and very strange looking. She had hooves instead of legs, a horse's head, and a pointed tail. She called him the Jersey Devil and kept him locked in her house, away from prying eyes. Joseph Bonaparte, former king of Spain and Napoleon's brother, saw Jersey Devil in Bordentown from 1816 to 1839 while hunting. The Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant is described in the Bible as a wooden ark, covered with gold, which was made to carry the tables of the 10 Commandments of God. The ark was allegedly carried through the desert and remained in the Israelite temple until its destruction by the Babylonian kingdom. Where it is now and whether it exists at all remains unknown to this day. We see that the history of mankind is full of mysteries, some of which are more than frightening. Write us below in the comments your opinions related to these mysteries. Don't forget to like if you liked the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.